What's up, witches? It is the morning after the election, and I thought I would jump on and process some stuff with my friends on the interwebs and talk a little bit about equanimity. So, what a wild night. I mean, we did not at all watch election returns. We did bowling. We bowled and we drank some brandy and we ate some popcorn and we hung out together. Pie Wacket, I hear you. That might have been Mitchell. Anyway. And went to bed. I had checked, a couple things before I went to bed. And then went to sleep, and in the middle of the night, or probably about 6:30 in the morning, I woke up and was thinking, check your phone, check your phone, check your phone. It's like, no, I'm not going to. So I went back to sleep, and I had stress dreams of trying to open up the Washington Post app and not being able to, and having it download all kinds of crap on my phone. It was just like stress dreams. So when I woke up this morning and finally looked, the answer is there's no answer. And we knew this. We knew there was going to be no hard answer on Election Day for one reason or another. But the worst part was finding out that there are far more fascists and Nazis in this country than we thought they were, than even fear made them, considering there's just been such a groundswell of people going out to vote, and that we still have, my county went entirely red. People that have been serving, Democrats that have been serving for a long time, were defeated yesterday. And to me, it really speaks to the fear that's going on across the board. But when I finally woke up and kind of looked at things, I had a doctor's appointment to get my last shot in my back this morning. So I had to leave very early. So my schedule is completely blown. I did not get to do my puja before I went to the doctor's appointment, so I have not done my practice yet. It will certainly get done, but I haven't done it yet. My normal timing is just off. And, happy day after Mercury stations direct. So on the way to and from the doctor's appointment, I'm driving and I'm listening to, happy music, but I'm like this. Caught myself with just this. I'm going past, political signs in yards still, and just. And finally on the way home, as I'm driving and just like, and I finally caught myself. So if you remember the quick video I did on the 3 difficulties, training in the 3 difficulties, Buddhism-wise, and the first one is catching yourself doing something neurotic. So that was the moment of catching myself and sitting there going, okay, it's just me in this car. Is this what I'm choosing for myself? Is this the mood that I'm choosing? So I'm hoping that, talking through this here, it can maybe help you and help you understand where you're at, and help you to turn towards practice. So equanimity is one of the 4 immeasurables. You have, I remember them better in the Tibetan, metta, karuna, mudita, and upekkha. Metta is loving kindness, and that means that I wish for all beings to be happy. I truly wish that all of my fellow beings would be happy. Then there's karuna, which is compassion, and compassion says I wish that they don't suffer. So that it's 2 different things. Being happy and not suffering are 2 different things. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Oh, somebody came to say hi. Hi, baby. I love you. So, go in. So, wanting them to have happiness and wanting them not to suffer are actually 2 different motivations. The first one is just being kind, and the second one is compassion, that I feel you're suffering too, so I don't want you to suffer. Then mudita is it's joy, but it's called sympathetic joy, which means that I rejoice in others' successes. It's not just about me being successful. It's about rejoicing in other people's joys and successes. Hey, baby. Thank God for this kitten. I'm telling you, thank the gods for this kitten. And upekkha is equanimity. And equanimity is, I think you can think about it like even mind. It's not seeing everything as equal. It's not, there is no good and bad. Oh my goodness. It is saying that I am going to meet everything in life from my center. Equanimity says that when I see things as good and bad and I start judging, what happens immediately is emotions start being generated around that. So I was looking at, I was thinking about elections and catastrophe and disaster and how bad this is going to be. So bad, bad, bad was on my mind. And what happened to my mood? So how am I going to meet the rest of the day? It pulled me off of my center, and maybe, you've got grumpy and sad and angry and hatred, and you're generating all these emotions that are, or I'm generating all these that are eating me alive, just me inside my car, just me on a beautiful morning. As I left, I was heading east towards the hospital, and it was a stunning moment because it was like 7:30, and I'm looking through these thick trees with the sun coming up, so I could actually see the whole disk of the sun because the trees provided such a screen, and it was massive, and it looked like a mirror. It was like white silvery, not coming up orange or yellow or, red or anything. It was silvery white, and massive, this massive disc. And it caught me for a moment, and I just went, isn't that beautiful? And then, right back. So you get smacked with the juxtaposition of the beauty of life and then the ugliness that's going on right now. And what caught me was the idea of, look, there's the sun coming up. It's still there in the sky, and it's still beautiful. And there's a beautiful day. The woods are glorious. We're going to have a gorgeous day today. The temperatures are going back up into the 70s after we had 2 inches of snow on Sunday. What the hell? But again, just equanimity allows me to see that sun in the sky and go, look at the beauty there. But even that, So equanimity, even that can take you into judgments of good and bad. This is good. The weather's good. Oh, good. Now I'm going to be in a good mood. But this election stuff, okay, now I'm going to be in a bad mood. And so I think now I'm kind of getting to the heart of it in that what happens when we don't practice equanimity is we are constantly getting pulled by externals. We have our experience dictated by the externals. We have our state of mind and our state of centeredness, our state of inner peace affected by the externals. Now, equanimity doesn't say I'm numb. It doesn't say I'm going to shut out all those externals so that I can be in my peaceful little oblivious bubble. That's the third version of suffering, which is indifference and cutting yourself off. So the thing is to be so strong in your center and in your practice of loving kindness and compassion and sympathetic joy, that whatever's going on in the externals, I can meet it from that place. And I was going to say perhaps find the good in it, but immediately we just go to the judging again, good and bad. So equanimity is, to me, really about staying in my center, staying in my values, staying in what I truly believe about being a human being on this planet. And one of the things, I'll go back to what I said in the beginning of just, watching how red things are and seeing that, as I commented on somebody's thing on Facebook yesterday, of choosing to see this rather than these are my enemies and, hate, fight, me against you, all of that, seeing it as this is trauma, this is symptomatology, because that takes me to a place of compassion. That takes me to karuna, to compassion of I don't want you to suffer. And, selfishly you can say I don't want you to suffer because your suffering is causing me to have a bad time. Your suffering is fucking with me, and it's the truth. We're all suffering because of it. The planet Earth is suffering. But we really have to, so what do? I think, I have to get to the place of really acknowledging just the degree of fear that exists in our world. And, with the internet, the externals are writ so large and they're in our face every minute of every day. If you think back to what an election was like in the 1800s, the early 1800s, when, you had to wait for the frickin' U.S. mail and writers and couriers to spread the news. And you didn't know, I don't know, there's election day, there was like an election month where people cast their ballots and turned them in. And then there was this big gathering. And at this time is when things were announced. We are used to instant gratification now. And so we want it now, and we're after that news now. And that just takes us externally and takes us into that anticipation and fear and suffering and, all that kind of stuff. So, so through this wandering path, I guess I'm getting to the point now of here's where I'm placing myself. I am placing myself in my practice. I am placing myself in my center in that what do I have to offer the world? What is needing to be expressed in me that can be helpful in some way to this planet, that can help people evolve? Obviously, we're struggling. Obviously, this planet is massively struggling. And I'm going to listen to a call that says we need to address the fear. We need to address the fear that we all live in. And so that's where I'm going to be placing my attention, is addressing the fear in me, the fear all around us, putting out the stuff that I do, doing my videos, but really looking at what I can do to help move us forward. And personally, I'm just putting my attention on my life, up close and personal. If we didn't have the internet, what would your life be like? If you couldn't reach out and find out what's happening every second of every day and be immersed in those externals, far, far away. I mean, even like the fires that are going on the West Coast, they're not affecting me directly. They're not in my life. And I feel such compassion for the people out there. And if I put myself in their trauma, and I put myself in the trauma of the separated families, and I put myself in the trauma of COVID sufferers, and I put myself in the trauma, I mean, it's one thing to feel what's happening and have compassion. It's another thing to be absorbing everyone's trauma and expecting to function in your life. And we need each and every individual to function the best they can in their lives, to be as effective as they can in their lives, dealing with their karma in a way that makes the world around them in their sphere a better place. More kindness, more compassion, starting with the self, and spreading that compassion to every human being around you, every human being. So I invite you here, when we do the Kuan Yin dance in Dances of Universal Peace, and we get to that place of rocking the baby, of the practice of compassion, seeing these people who, for whatever reason, in their minds, more hatred, it sounded like a good idea. More division sounded like a good idea. These people are traumatized and hurting. I know what my fear is like, and I'm aware of my fear. I don't know that a lot of these red voters are. It's covered with, hubris and bombast and hatred and everything else, but there's fear and trauma underlying it all. So being able to maybe look at them and on the front end here, because I care about you, on the front end, what this is going to do is help you not to generate that hatred and fear and carry it in your own body and in your own system, because I don't want you to suffer. I don't want you to suffer with that. And what else are we going to do but wash your dishes with loving kindness and great attention, but clean your home with loving kindness and work on all levels. But get busy in your local politics. Get busy. Get involved in any way that you can. Get your hands on the wheel that's closest to you. So that's where I'm at today. And also, practice, practice, practice. Do your meditation practice, whatever it is. I'm going to be working on more videos about specific details of my practice that I can share with you. But whatever your practice is, please do it. Please do it for your sake, because I wish happiness for you. I wish that you don't suffer. I rejoice in whatever accomplishments you gain today. I rejoice in your joy. And I hope that you can meet each event in growing equanimity, in your center, feeling the pain, feeling what's going on, feeling compassion for those, but staying in your center and saying, this is an opportunity for practice. So here's the wrap up. The Tibetans talk about opportunity for practice. And remember, Tibetan Buddhism is a Vajrayana practice, which is fast track, fast and bumpy, And what Tibetan Buddhism says is there is nothing that's a waste. There is no event, emotion, thing that you go through that is a waste. It is all an opportunity to practice. It all generates energy. So even if you find yourself in hatred, in animosity, in anger, use that energy to move yourself towards enlightenment. Use that energy to practice. Transform yourself. Transform yourself. So in the car this morning when I thought, is this what I want? And I took a breath, I felt it, and then I breathed out and said, I'm changing my mood now. That's transformation. I'm changing my mood. I'm letting go of the resentment. I'm letting go of the thought trails that keep taking me there. So that was kind of rambling. I hope you got something out of that. I just really felt the need to check in and see how you're doing. So please let me know how you're doing. Tonight is live stream. Please join me so we can chat. We may head over to Discord afterwards. Please look down below. Hook up with my Discord. I will be announcing live chats very soon. So take care. Take care. We're all going to be okay. It's going to be okay. All right? I love you. I wish for you the very best. I'll see you tonight. This is the Zen Witch. Blessed be.